place down the street where good friends meet. Why don't you come along? See a face that's new, share a point of view, or maybe sing a song. Life has many stories that you hear all the time. Two of them you'll hear today, that's yours and that's mine. But there's a third story that'll always be there. Just climb to the top of the stair. Life has many stories that you hear all the time. Two of them you'll hear today, that's yours and that's mine. But there's a third story that'll always be there. Just climb to the top of the stair. Climb to the top of the stair.
Let go of me, Byron. Come on, lay off. Told you.
Yikers, I was just fooling around, Mooney.
Aw, come on, order in this house.
Sure, Harry. I'll have a pepperoni pizza and a root beer.
Not gonna wrestle with you.
I just want to sit down.
Enough was enough.
I was just fooling around, Mooney.
Yeah, but then you got stupid about it.
In a forest, the lynx population seldom ever gets very big. You're really lucky if you get to see a lynx once in a while. Rabbits, on the other hand, are usually easier to find. That's because there are more of them around. But even with rabbits, there are only a limited number. What keeps lynx more rare and rabbits more plentiful by comparison? Killing and starvation. Lynx kill rabbits, but starve when there aren't enough rabbits to go around. Pretty grim, isn't it? These bumps show population explosions of rabbits. And these are lynx population explosions. Here, lynx are killing rabbits. That's the end of the rabbit population explosion. And here, lynx are starving. This brutal cycle goes round and round year after year. People used to think that all animal populations were controlled by violent death and starvation. But now we have learned that this is not always true. Some birds, for example, will control their numbers by laying only about the right number of eggs for the food available. That means that little birds don't necessarily have to die when food gets scarce. They're just never produced. So the balance of nature is not just maintained by death. There's another way, a non-violent way. We also have evidence that when times are bad, deer can control their family sizes. Does have fewer fawns when food is very scarce. The doe can probably make it through a bad winter when her fawn would not, so she doesn't have a fawn that year. Of course, wolves must hunt deer, but at least violent death isn't the whole story in nature. We can see that in some situations, nature adjusts appropriately before violence and starvation are necessary.
Okay, Byron, come on, let's see how tough you are. Come on. girls. Well, what's new?
You should have seen what happened after school today, Harry. One of the patrols at the little kids' school, boy, did he ever get knocked around by some bigger guys.
What do you mean knocked around? You know how the big guys don't wait around for the lights to change before they cross the street.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yesterday I nearly ran over a few toes.
That's the danger about driving a car, Harry. You should take a tip from these two fleas. One says to the other, street walk or take a dog.
Quit interrupting, Kurt. Well, these big guys walked right through red light, so the little kids didn't want to wait either. But the patrol wouldn't let them.
So while the patrol was acting big and full of authority, the bigger guys gave him a rough time and everything like that.
Yeah, I think what started it was that he's been acting sort of smart in patrol, and these guys decided to do something about it.
It was sort of sad to see, that's all. He got all upset and started crying.
Well, sounds like they were just a couple of guys trying to be tough. What's so great about taking advantage of people anyway?
Especially if they're smaller than you are.
You know, singing is a great way to release tension. Why don't we sing that song about hate?
Hey, have you had a hate inside of yourself that you just had to let out? And did you look for every little excuse to let it come out loud? And once you start, it's hard to stop. When someone gets in your way, you're putting them down, driving them down, driving them into the ground. Hey, do you hate the hate inside of yourself? Can't keep from letting it out. Deep down you feel the hater starting to win, and make it come out loud. And once you start, it's hard to stop. The hater has it his way. He is putting you down, driving you down, driving you into the ground. And once you start, it's hard to stop. The hater has it his way. He's putting you down, driving you down, driving you into the ground. Hey, have you heard about the love of God? So glad I finally found a love to drive out every hate in my heart. It turned me right around. And once you start, the hate will stop. If someone gets in your way, you're helping them up, lifting them up, showing them the love of God. And once you start, the hate will stop. If someone gets in your way, you're helping them up, lifting them up, showing them the love of God.
Okay, time for a story. Let's get some costumes on. There's always been a lot of fighting in this world. There's a story in the Bible about a man named David who spent years of his life running away from an angry king. You've heard about David and the evil giant Goliath? Well, this was the same David. You see, when David defeated Goliath, he was one of the most popular people around. Just everybody was talking about him, and the king, King Saul, hated this. You see, the king was having problems of his own, trying to keep the country together. So he decided to get rid of David. He gathered his men together and chased after David with the intent of killing him. But it wasn't easy. God was giving David some special protection, and for years the chase went on. David had some narrow escapes, but he and the men he gathered around him always managed to slip away from Saul. One day, someone told King Saul that David was hiding up on a certain hill. Saul took his best army of 3,000 troops and went out to hunt him down. Now, David had his spies out, and so he knew that Saul was coming. One night, he did a daring thing. He slipped over to King Saul's camp to look around. King Saul and his general were fast asleep inside a ring of soldiers who were also sleeping. "Any volunteers to go down there with me?" David asked. "I'll go with you," one friend replied. So the two of them snuck right in close to where Saul was fast asleep. They found him lying with his spear in the ground beside his head. "God has put your enemy within your power this time for sure," the friend whispered to David. "Let me go and put that spear right through him. I'll pin him to the ground with it." David must have been tempted to end the chase right there. He could kill King Saul, and his problems would be over. But no, he said, "Don't kill him. God has set him up to be our king. It's not up to us to decide how he shall die. His life is in God's hand, not mine. But I'll tell you what, we'll take his spear and his jug of water and then get out of here." Not one person woke up as they crept away to a slope opposite where they were at a safe distance. Then David shouted down,
Hey, General, wake up!
Who is it?
Boy, you're sure a lousy general. Where's the king's spear and his jug of water? Is that you, David? Yes, it is. Why are you chasing me? What have I done wrong?
The king hung his head in shame. "I'm the one who has done wrong," said the king. "You could have killed me last night, but you didn't. I've been a fool." David and his friend watched as the king and his 3,000 men broke camp and marched toward home. David's act of mercy was powerful. King Saul was so ashamed that he never tried to kill David again.
Kurt, what are you doing? Well, there's this bully on the street, and I feel like punching him in the nose again.
What do you mean, again?
Well, I felt like it yesterday, too.
Come on, let's do some arm wrestling. How about two guys? All right.
You know, if you think about it, home and school are two good places where people can learn a lot about getting along together.
Hi, I'm Kathy Bergen. I live on a farm near Swift Current. I have 2 older brothers and a sister, and I have 1 younger brother that's in grade 2. My sister and I share a room together. We have to clean up our own stuff and make our bed, and usually she helps me with my homework if I'm having trouble or something. I'm glad I have older brothers because they can drive you places and take you places when your mom and dad can't, if they have their driver's license. Sometimes they play catch with you and help you with your homework. Well, sometimes we fight about things that are silly. We have lots of fun together sometimes. I go to school on the school bus every morning. I get on the bus at 7:30. Get off at 4:15 at home. The older kids sit at the front because the bus driver said at the beginning of the year they had to sit at the front, but now the little kids always get the back first, so they have to sit at the front. In the evenings, the big kids get on first. They usually sit at the back, and the little kids sit at the front. Some kids want to sit in the back seat on the bus because they don't want the bus driver to hear what they're saying. There's fights sometimes with people just arguing about school or something. It's hard to have friends because sometimes you brag a bit and they don't like that. So you just get on their nerves and they don't like that. It's not easy because they get kind of sick of you sometimes and they just stay away from you. Kind of leaves a hole inside you. Sometimes you can change your ways or something. God means a lot to me because He helps me a lot in my schoolwork when I'm in trouble or something.
I think that when you push someone else around, you're trying to make yourself feel important.
Like a power trip.
If you like yourself and have confidence in yourself, there's no reason why you should have to push other people around.
Yeah, bullies are always trying to prove how big they are.
Just keep away from them, that's all.
It happens every day to somebody. It's all right. It's just a game. I hope the bell rings before my turn. Score is tied, 2 out. Bases loaded. My luck. Here goes. You can't change the batting order. Trust the teacher to keep the rules. It's all right. It's just a game. Strike 3. Strike 3. They don't know how it hurts. Someone does understand. Thanks for being a friend.
Okay, come on. 3 guys. I'll take you all on. Come on, come on.
Oh, Harry!
Oh! You weren't supposed to do it yet. Not till the end of the show.
This is the... Moni, I'm sorry for pushing you around. I didn't really mean it.
That's okay. I guess I sort of slugged you kind of hard, too.
You know, I'm glad you guys aren't too proud to say you're sorry. The opposite of pride is humility. Let me sing you a little song about being humble. Oh, the bigger you come, oh, the harder you fall, so keep humble. It doesn't come naturally. No, it doesn't come naturally. We all wanna look good every way that we could. Have people think we're something fine. But Jesus inside can get rid of pride and teach us humility. Pride says, I'm important. Humility says, everyone is. Pride says, look at me. Humility says, look all around. Pride says, I'm better than you. Humility says, come on, let's be friends. 2 voices I hear every day in my ear, telling me such different things. One voice comes from pride, hiding deep inside. The other, humility, sings. When I listen to pride, all my friends wanna hide, 'cause I'm not very pleasant or mean. So let's take the right voice and obey the right voice when pride and humility speak. Oh, yes, the bigger you come, oh, the harder you fall. So keep humble. It doesn't come naturally. No, it doesn't come naturally. We all want to look good every way that we could. Have people think we're something fine. But Jesus inside can get rid of pride and teach us humility.
Good, Harry.
Okay, thank you.
Really good.
What have you...
Guys, here's what we got.
Oh, yeah, why don't you read it for us?
Dear third story, here's the lesson I learned. Once when I was jumping in my bed, I was turning a somersault in the air. When I came down, I twisted my spine. I broke the board on the bottom of my bed. The next day I had to stay home from school. And here's a riddle for you. What did one penny say to the other? We'd make more sense if we were together. Oh! From Marcia Wegowitz.
Byron, we need a commercial. Can you do it for us? Yeah. Okay, come on, let's do it.
Come on, Byron.
That's right.
Okay, do it.
Do your stuff.
Extra, extra, read all about us in this nifty little magazine called The Third Story.
Yeah.
Healthy stories,
Right.
sick jokes,
Yeah.
and mug shots of us. This magazine also has puzzles, and it's free. Just write us here at The Third Story, and we'll send you a copy.
The address is The Third Story, Box 2, Station F, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Just write us and we'll send you a copy of The Third Story.
I wonder if a mailman can carry a 3-story house.
It's easy to get carried away and hurt other people, on purpose or without realizing what we're doing. At times, we need to stop and think of how the other person feels about what's happening and how God feels about it. Jesus taught a lot about how not to hurt other people. He can change you if you ask him to. Thanks, Lily. Hey, have you heard about the love of God? So glad I finally found a love to drive out every hate in my heart and turn me right around. And once you start, the hate will stop. If someone gets in your way, you're helping them up, lifting them up, showing them the love of God. And once you start, the hate will stop. If someone gets in your way, you're helping them up, lifting them up, showing them the love of God. What do you say we try that arm wrestling thing again, eh?
Sure. Come on.